I wanted to talk to you today about inviting you to challenge your beliefs to become free or freer in your life. In my book, The Beauty of Being Free, I write freedom is a mindset, and no form of subjugation can contain a free mind, one that is conscious and aware. To break the chains of oppression of any kind is to first break the shackles of mental bondage, which can color your perception of reality and greatly impact your ability to be a productive and consequential force in the world. Now, in some cases, our belief systems have become the mental shackles that keep us from experiencing and living our best life. From young, patterns of beliefs are developed, often to help us make sense of the world and everything around us. These beliefs are established from emotional attachments to perhaps maybe our parents, our teachers, pastors, or other people who have been in our sphere of influence. Beliefs, beloved, however, can be either empowering or limiting. So you may ask the question, what are beliefs and how do they come about? A belief is a conviction of the truth of a proposition or alleged fact without knowledge. Let me say that again. A belief is something that we may take on as truth and is an alleged fact, but it comes without knowledge. Beliefs are conditioned perceptions that a person develops over their lifetime that stems from various experiences. And these experiences may be positive or negative, but then emotion is attached to it. There are conclusions that often people draw of situations and circumstances, usually from childhood, yet they are not necessarily based on fact or even actual facts. Now, beliefs are established in our own personal lives by some experience we had with someone or something, and then we put emotion behind that experience. The emotions commonly are attached to our parents, religious leaders, teachers, romantic involvements, and others who may have had or have significant influence in our life and how we view the world. And sometimes we hold these people in our lives so dear that we handle information from them as if it's the full gospel, and in many cases, we don't question or challenge the information within ourselves to see if what is being shared or given is true for us, if it's true for our soul's calling. And because we love and trust them, when they share principles with us, we don't always measure it against our own higher self to see if it resonates. And instead, we simply take the information completely, we internalize it, and then establish it as a belief. Now, you may ask, why are beliefs important then? And when do they become limiting? Well, having a belief system is helpful in that it provides a sense of stability and helps us to make sense of things and provides a basis for context and perspective. However, if our beliefs are limiting and hinders our success or keeps us from achieving our goals, then we must assess them and challenge them to see if they are from the premise of an erroneous thought or faulty logic. We have to challenge it to see the truth of it. Beliefs can be either empowering or limiting, as I said before. Now, empowering beliefs enable us to grow, evolve, and flourish. Limiting beliefs, however, stops us from growing and evolving and reaching our destiny. Now, an example of an empowering belief is, I am worthy and deserve to have the best in life. On the other hand, an example of a limiting belief is money is the root of all evil. Another example of an empowering belief is, I am free to express my truth and to say how I feel. Or, I have everything I need at this moment to achieve my dreams. Another example of a limiting belief is, I need to keep my feelings in because they really don't matter. Or, it is way too hard or will take way too much work to accomplish my goals. People develop limiting beliefs around their esteem, their style of dress, their manners, their abilities, and more. They put limitations on how they go about things as a result of false information and consequently self-sabotage their own success. Now, in recalling a limiting belief that I had to let go of in order to become freer, I can recall one limiting belief system that I had, which kept me from one of the joys in my life. You see, I love swimming, and I used to swim every day. However, at one point in my life, I took on a limiting belief that came about as a result of my spiritual journey. I was taught that I was not supposed to show my body in a bathing suit in public, so I stopped going swimming if it was in a public place. And since I did not have a swimming pool, that meant I did not swim for quite some time. I deprived myself of the joy of swimming because someone else defined what modesty was, and I believed them without challenging it. Because I loved swimming, I made this swimming suit that not only made me look ridiculous, it restricted me from swimming effectively and freely. At the pool, I drew so much attention to myself by wearing the ridiculous getup because I was focused solely on covering up rather than what I was there to do. Now, before, when I went swimming, no one was remotely paying any attention to me. And if they were, I didn't notice because I was focused on getting my swimming on and releasing negative energy and imbibing or drinking in the positivity from the energy of the water. Water is very healing for me. And being a healer, even early on in my life, I love the water, and it was very healing and uplifting, and it allowed me to be able to impart more energy on others. However, after the ridicule by others around me and the mocking that I endured, I stopped even swimming in public for the most part because I took on this belief that it was wrong to show my body in public and that it was not modest. However, at some point, it was necessary for me to challenge that belief because I was depriving myself of something that I not only loved to do, but that was very good for me. I realized that for me, modesty is not a look, it is a behavior, and it really doesn't matter what a person is wearing as much as it does how they are behaving. You know, a person can be all covered up and act lewd and with very little self-regard. Or they can be uncovered, for example, a model that is modeling for a painter, and they can present very beautifully and with the highest level of regard for self. I had to boldly challenge that limiting belief around modesty and swimming in public or being in a bathing suit in public. And I learned to appreciate my love for swimming and my good taste in a choice of a swimming suit that worked for me for what my reasons for being at the pool were. I was not there to entice others to look at me. I was there to swim. So there was no reason for me to concern myself with an attitude that, first of all, never belonged to me in the first place and that had nothing to do with me. And being modest was not about what type of suit that I was wearing. It wasn't about that. It was more about the type of behavior that I chose to take on. So I let go of that limiting belief and I returned to the joys of swimming. And when I released that particular limiting belief, it opened the way for me to confront many more that was impeding my ability to be happy and successful. You see, for me, success is not solely about money and material things. It is about peace and contentment of mind. And that limiting belief system interfered with my ability to have peace and contentment of mind, because one of my processes that I used to achieve that was swimming. So I leave you with this question. What limiting belief do you have in your life that's holding you back or keeping you in a state of bondage? I would love to hear your feedback, and I would love to hear more about maybe what challenges you've had to overcome in terms of limiting beliefs. Thank you so much for listening, and forever in peace, love, and light, I'm Dr. Atiya Jones. Have a blessed day. Thank you.